Good afternoon and welcome to News Now. My name is Hibak Saeed and happy Hump Day. We have a very comprehensive bulletin at this hour, but first, let's take a look at the highlights.
The highlights. 2 people narrowly escaped death after the vehicle they were traveling in was swept away by floods in Embu County.
Tukijaribu kupika jeki, angalau tusukume gari iende. Maji ikaanza kuongezeka kidogo mpaka tukawa hatuwezi kupika jeki.
Also, 2 suspected terrorists gunned down by police who raided their hideout at Hawinga in West Alego.
2 of the assailants who engaged police officers, but they were neutralized. But 1 was arrested.
And the County Assembly of Kiambu resumes its duties after a 5-month hiatus.
Welcome once again. To start us off, the Council of Governors has told off Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua on his allegations that counties have received funds to mitigate the effects of El Niño rains. Council of Governors Chairperson Anne Waiguru says the national government owes counties billions of shillings from the equitable share. Gachagua had claimed the national government had released funds to counties to enable them respond to the ongoing El Niño floods of destruction.
We have 37 counties that have reported that they have been affected, counties where towns are marooned, especially in the northeast. They cannot be reachable right now, even by air. To date, we wish to state and clarify that county governments have not received any allocation from the national government to go towards mitigation measures for El Niño. As a matter of fact, counties are owed a total of 62.58 billion from the equitable share. This is not the time to point fingers. This is not the time to make accusations. This is not the time for populist politics. This is the time to put our hands together and ensure that we reduce as much as possible the suffering of Kenyans.
Elsewhere, 2 people narrowly escaped death when the vehicle they were traveling in was swept away by floods from the Mashamba River in the Makima constituency of Embu County. Now, residents had to collaborate to rescue the individuals. Led by Ward Representative Philip Nziangi, residents have requested that the government should build a bridge to aid river crossing, stating that many people are affected by the river floods. Now, they also criticized road construction for laxity.
Nakumbuka hapa kwa mto ndipo palikuwa pamezikwa yule padre aliuawa mahali kwingine. Na umekuwa ni mto ambao nyakati zote ambapo kuna mvua umetesa watu wetu sana. Watu wengi wamepoteza maisha katika huu mto. Na juzi tu kwa huu mto ama kwa hii barabara ambayo inatumia huu mto, kulikuwa na contractor ambaye alikuwa amepewa kazi na kera. Na huyu contractor aliwacha hii barabara ikiwa na mashimo katikati ya mto. Na hatuelewi ni kwa nini, kwa sababu hakuna kazi alifanya. Barabara tayari ilikuwa na maramu mazuri. Na hatujui ni kwa nini aliweza kuacha mashimo katikati ya ile drift.
Kwa hii mto masaa 4:30 hivi na nusu. Na bahati mbaya gari ikakuwa na mechanical problem hapo kwa mto. Kidogo tukiendelea na jamaa mwenye alikuwa ananisaidia. Maji ikatusoa kutoka na huko juu. Na wakati ninaongea kama mkaanji wa Makema, siongelea kwa hii shinda yangu peke yangu. Tumekuwa na hiyo shinda kwa muda mrefu.
Tungeomba tafadhali serikali kama mnaweza fanyeni jambo la mbuzala, at least mtengenezee daraja ili mawasiliano iwe mzuri, biashara siendelee.
Moving on, residents of Githushi village in the Umande ward of Laikipia County have blamed local leaders for neglecting road repairs in their area. Mourners had to carry a coffin containing their loved one's body for more than 2 kilometers to the burial site due to impassable roads. The residents complained that their requests for road repairs have been ignored by the county leadership.
Hapa ni Githushi na ni kwetu. Boma yenye iko na matanga ni kwangu, juu ni kwa dada yangu. Mwili tumeibeba kwa mgongo. Nauliza, tumechaguana kweli? Tuko na president, tuko na mdogo wake, tuko na governors, tuko na MPs. Na Githushi tulichaguana. Tunaomba hii shida yote tuondolewe. Juu tuliamka mapema kutafuta kura na tukapatia hao watu wetu kura.
Tunaomba hizi barabara zitengenezwe kwa sababu tuko na shida sana. Hizi barabara si eti hazijulikani, ni kilomita 12 peke yake kutoka kwa ofisi ya governor. Na ni makosa sana kwa sababu ukipita hapa uende mbali utakuta barabara zimetengenezwa.
Sangu ni kwamba hii barabara zetu katika hii Githushi zimeharibika sana. Na kama mkaaji wa Githushi, mimi mwenyewe naaibika. Na kwamba kula zangu napeana na baada ya miaka 5 naangalia ile kazi nimefanyiwa nakuta hakuna.
From Laikipia to Siaya County, where 2 suspected members of a terror cell were this morning gunned down by the police who raided their hideout at Hawinga in West Alego, recovering 2 guns that were earlier this week snatched from policemen escorting examinations a few kilometers away. The 3rd suspect was arrested and locked in at Siaya Police Station as the bodies of his colleagues were taken to Siaya County Referral Hospital mortuary. According to the county security bosses led by Siaya Deputy County Commissioner Robert Ngetich and the County Police Commander Kleti Kimayu, an intelligence-led operation that brought in specialized teams from Busia, Saidi headquarters, and Siaya led to the success of the operation.
And today they had a breakthrough of 2 of the assailants who engaged police officers, but they were neutralized. But one was arrested, and we want to thank members of the public who have been assisting us in this operation by sharing information. That information was very valuable, and it has assisted us to secure. Also, we have recovered the 2 firearms which were taken from the police officers.
Nataka niseme ya kwamba wakati ule tarehe 20 nilisema hatutalala mpaka tu recover hizo firearms ilichukuliwa kutoka maafisa wetu wa polisi. So tangu siku hiyo hatujalala. Tumefuatilia, it was anyway an intelligence-led operation which led us even to our neighboring county of Busia. So operation ilianza wakati ule tukiwa na 3 teams. One team was from Busia County, from National Police Service, na ingine ikawa from Siaya National Police Service, na ingine ikawa a team from DCI headquarters. So with that combination na ile technology tumetumia with the assistance of the members of the public, tumepata breakthrough leo.
Now, President William Ruto has set January 1st as the date for the implementation and complete rollout of the universal health coverage, noting that a conversation around regulations involving different stakeholders will start next week. Speaking while officiating the commissioning of a state-of-the-art microbiology lab by MEDS at a cost of 100 million shillings, President Ruto says the facility will help in the fight against counterfeit medicine. Consequently, President William Ruto has directed that KEMSA and MEDS, a faith-based medical supplies unit, work together in medical supplies across the country with the aim of bringing down the cost of healthcare.
MEDS has supplied over 7.5 billion shillings worth of medical commodities to counties and government institutions, playing a complementary role to KEMSA. I encourage the 2 organizations to strengthen their partnership to exploit opportunities that will benefit Kenyans.
Strategic direction of MEDS, the organization has invested over Kenya shillings 100 million to set up the microbiology laboratory. This new facility will increase the capacity of the laboratory to carry out our wider range of tests, hence enhance contribution to improving quality of healthy commodities in the country and the region and fighting the menace of counterfeit medicines.
And the County Assembly of Kiambu has resumed its duties after a 5-month hiatus following this extended period. Speaker Charles Thiongo had to reiterate ethical standards to the leaders due to alleged unacceptable behavior in the Assembly. Now, in his address to the members, Speaker Thiongo stated that some members of the Assembly had crossed ethical boundaries, emphasizing that ignorance of the Assembly's rules would not be accepted.
Ignorance of the law is not a defense, and every person is presumed to or is expected to know the provisions of the law, and it cannot be a defense to plead non-knowledge of the law. Honorable members, on the fateful day, the 5th of September 2023, the conduct of some members of this assembly shook the pillars of the assembly to the core and stretched the rules and procedures of this assembly to their elasticity limit and breaking point. This conduct prompted the leadership of the Assembly to urgently, and as a matter of priority, organize a detailed and in-depth workshop on the provisions of the Powers and Privileges Act and other relevant laws on County Assembly. That during the said sitting, some of the members of this House engaged in the most disorderly and unacceptable manner. Some members had the temerity of walking in and out of the chamber when the chair was on his feet making his communication, which is against the provisions of our standing orders. Worse still, some members went as far as shouting and heckling when the chair was still making his communication. Some members even went a step further to purport to raise frivolous points of order when the chair was on his feet making the communication, which clearly is not allowed in our standing orders. Despite repeated attempts by the chair to stop this unruly and unbecoming conduct, the said members blatantly ignored and continued to engage the chair in a shouting match. If this is not impunity, then possibly the word impunity does not exist.
Right, now cultural practices among the Pokot community have contributed to the outbreak of various diseases, including cholera, due to poor hygiene. In the Kanyerus area at the border of West Pokot County and the neighboring country of Uganda, a large number of residents lack proper sanitation facilities. In Kanyerus, a significant number of residents lack toilets and, as such, are using one toilet for an entire family, and it is considered a taboo in this community.
Changamoto ambayo watoto wamekuwa wakipitia ni kule uoga. Watu wanaogopa kusema pengine ukijenga choo huwezi tumia choo pamoja na mama mkwe, ama huwezi tumia choo, ama huwezi enda choo kama mke mzee akiona. Lakini tumekuja na wameshakubali ya kwamba hii ni jambo la kawaida, ni mambo ambayo yanakuzidi, kwa hivyo unaenda kuyapunguza.
Kama ni kujenga choo, hiyo ni jukumu lako. Kama ni mama mjamzito, ni jukumu lako kuona ya kwamba umeenda kliniki. Kama ni kujifungua, tafadhali ni kliniki. Sisi huwa tunasema ya kwamba tukitembea katika mambo ya usafi, tunafanya mambo yote ya afya. Hatuendi tu saa hizo ati ni mambo ya choo peke yake. Tunataka kuangalia mambo yote ya usafi katika boma.
Hapa Kanyerus location saa hii, sisi tumefurahi kwa sababu hatutakuwa na magonjwa kama ile ya kuhara damu ama kutapika. Hakuna ile ugonjwa ya typhoid tena. Kiwonya. Hakuna hata ile unasikia kwamba mtu anahara damu. Inaitwa dysentery. Hiyo wamesika.
And on that note, we go for a very short break, but we have details. Welcome back to News Now. A family in Migori County is seeking justice after their 3-acre maize farm was invaded by unknown individuals following a land dispute. The family claims that the invaders caused damage without providing any reason. According to the family, the intruders arrived at the farm and began destroying it without offering any explanation. The family is now appealing for government's intervention to ensure justice and to hold those responsible for the destruction accountable.
Rungu na silaha zingine ambazo sikueleweka. Kika tumepata shida katika hii familia yetu, tumeteseka. Tumenyanyaswa, tumefanywa kama wanyama. Tumefanywa kama watu ambao hatukuumbwa na Mungu. Tumeteseka sana. Kwa hivyo tunaomba serikali tusaidie. Mahindi yetu imefekwa yote.
Sasa mimi ninashangaa wamefeka mahindi heka 3. Sasa nitapeleka watoto wapi? Mimi ninashangaa.
Tunaomba serikali iangalie hili jambo kabisa